14. Come on. One more. Good job, brother.
Thanks, Tim.
You did it.
Yes, sir. Alrighty. This is the last set of bench, and then we're gonna slow it down this time, not so fast.
Good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on. 1, 2, 2 more. 3, and 1 more. There you go. Nice.
Whew. Thanks, Tim.
Other than that, what's his name? Is that what his name is? Why do you think something he has time for? We started together.
Not too much more. I'm about done. Pump's good though. I know I said I was going to do poses when I hit 190, but oh dude, the pump's good today, so I got to see it. Every time I do cardio, every fucking time, without fail, I leave this in the fucking cup holder. And thankfully, every time I come back the next day, it's still there. So, but yeah, today was, you know, like, okay, bench felt weird. First of all, I just want to clarify that. Bench felt really weird. It felt shaky and heavy. So I was like, okay, first set of 315, worked up, did 3, felt like shit. I was like, okay, today's not a day to where I need to be benching or anything. So I was like, fuck it, dude, I'll go over to incline. And that's what I was going to do in the first place anyway. So I was like, yeah, I guess if I'm going to do 2 chest days a week, one of those days I'll just do incline, either incline bench or incline dumbbell on one of those days, because obviously I do close grip one day when I do arms and then a normal bench day, so there's no reason for me to, like, I guess, overload the bench too much. Unless I was powerlifting, and that'd be different, but I'm not really powerlifting, but I am trying to get stronger on bench. Because we're trying to get to 405 poundaroos. That's the, you know, that's the goal. But yeah, like, if you've been training for, okay, I feel like everybody's dream at first when they first start lifting is, okay, let's get to 200 pounds. All right, you get a 200-pound bench. Now let's get to 225. 225 is like a huge milestone for a lot of people. And that's really good. 225 is super impressive. And then its next is usually like 275. Like, okay, you got 2 plates and a quarter on there. And then it's 315. And then it's 365. And then it's 405. And 455. It's always, usually we measure men as we measure by like quarters usually, because honestly, yeah, that's how I've always measured it. That's how I've always like gauged like milestones. Even when I was a newbie, when I did 135 for the first time, I was like, sweet, I got 1 plate. When I did 185 for the first time, I was like, sweet, I got a fucking plate and a quarter. And then 225, 2 plates, obviously, and then up and so on and so forth. But if you stay in the gym long enough and you train and you actually put effort into, obviously, your training, your dieting, and then also learning technique, because I feel like most guys that I see, at least 90 to 95% of the dudes that are lifting and benching and stuff, their form is awful, or not necessarily awful, just not optimal. Like, if you optimize your form on bench, dude, I'm telling you, it's going to change the game. You're going to bench so much more. Just getting your form dialed in. That's probably the reason why my bench is a lot stronger than most. I would say almost like I haven't met someone my size benching as much as me at my weight, just to put it that way. But I know there is people that can. And it's because I put so much effort into just getting my form so dialed in. Even the way that I grip the bar, I grab it and then I twist, and that feels better. Straight wrist, not wrist like that. You don't want your wrist, that's just, you're asking for an injury or wrist problems. Having a strong back also helps. It's the foundation of the bench. Having lats helps you kind of push through. There's so much that goes into the bench press, and I feel like the first thing a guy always asks is like, how much do you bench usually? So if you want to like increase your bench, watch a bunch of just YouTube videos on how powerlifters. I would prefer you guys to watch on how powerlifters bench rather than like a bodybuilder, because bodybuilders, they're not going in there to, you know, like, they don't really give a shit as much about their form. If they're going to do any bench exercise, the majority of the time it's going to be like dumbbell or bench, because there's more of that muscle, that squeeze and everything. So I would say 99% of bodybuilders don't even really bench press or flat bench or anything. But just having that powerlifting like foundation, and then also with the bodybuilding on top of it, like that style of training, like mixing those two together, they correlate really well together. And I don't think, people always say, oh dude, you got like awesome genetics with strength and everything, but I also don't think people realize how much time and energy I put into like crafting my form and my technique. And dude, I've been doing this shit every day for 7 years, so obviously there's going to be some sort of results. I don't think my genetics are anything too special. I've just put in a little bit more effort than most people when it comes to those types of things, and if you put in that same amount of effort, you're going to get the same kind of results, right? I'm not saying my genetics are awful or anything. Like, I feel like I got good genetics, but like, I feel like people like to blame it on their genetics. Like, well, dude, you bench 315 because you got good genetics. So my dude, no, I bench 315 because I put in the fucking work to get to that point to where I can bench 315. And now that I'm going to get to 405 eventually, and it's the same process, you know, like I have that foundation, so now it's just gradually eating more, obviously other things, and then I'll get to 405-pound bench. So it's the same with squatting, it's the same with deadlifting. You put enough time and energy into it, you're going to see some gains. But like I said, there's always a million things that go into benching more and going for it all. Dude, you got your dieting, your training split, your recovery, your form. All of those things have a huge impact on how much you're going to bench. Like, I would say they're all pretty fucking equal. If you have shitty form, you're going to hurt yourself. Then you're going to be out for benching for a while, and then you're going to hurt yourself, keep hurting yourself, and then you're never going to want to bench again because you feel like you're going to blame it on the bench, that the bench is the reason why you can't bench anymore. But it's most of the time, if your form's shitty, and then if your diet's awful, like, you're not going to have enough calories, you're not going to be maybe energized enough, or just in a calorie deficit. If you're in a calorie deficit, you're probably not going to get a bigger bench. What else, dude? Like, recovery, obviously you need to get your sleep recovered, all of that. And then training, like, if you have the ability, if your 1 rep max is 275, and every time you train, you're doing 185 for as many reps as possible, you're probably not going to get a bigger bench. You want to do something anywhere between the 8 rep range and below if you want to bench more. So those are my tips for building a bigger bench, and I feel like I have pretty valid advice because my bench it's pretty good. I guess pretty fucking good bench. Just like Lex Little, if you guys seen Lex Little, his bench is fucking phenomenal. Like, he has an amazing bench. His bench is like, what, 425? His form's perfect, and he's kind of like, we're kind of similar in that way because he has that powerlifting foundation, but he also kind of trains bodybuilding. But he also likes strength as well, and he also likes size. So mixing those two, blending those two styles, I think more people need to do that because I think it helps out a lot. I just want you boys to get big, get that big bench. Because I know how it is. We're all like, it's the first thing, guys. We ask each other, like, dude, how much you bench, bro? How much you fucking benching, dude? And then I've gotten to the point to where I'm like, yeah, my max is like 365, and I'm like, I feel like I have to like show them a video of me benching 365 because I feel like most of the time they don't believe me because I only weigh 185 pounds, and I'm like, oh, I bench 365, and they're probably like, oh, it's probably like a half rep, or he bounced off his chest or something like that, or he didn't even do it, or it was 365 on the Smith machine. But I'm like, nope, I have to show you guys because I've mastered this shit. Let's see, yeah, where's my keys at? Okay, they decided to fucking keep shutting this damn gate, and they used to leave it open. But yeah, anyway, boys, like, follow those tips if you want to, increase your bench. Just trying to help you guys out a little bit. That also goes for like any girls watching. If you want a bigger bench too, it's kind of the same thing. But yeah, that's pretty much all that's going on today. It's another day in paradise. We are going to eat some food, and I gotta hop on a call with the bodybuilding coach and kind of get the gist of what's going to be happening as far as like diet-wise and training and all those cool things. So I'll update y'all tomorrow. So talk to you then. Peace.